Geez, let's get some lights turned on. That's better. What's going on, everyone? Hayden here, coming back at you with a brand new video. And in this one, we're gonna be talking about Facebook ads. I know you guys have wanted me to go in depth. I've made a couple videos talking about this, but there's always a lot more to talk about. And so in this video, we're gonna talk about a few things I wish I knew when starting Shopify Dropshipping, because if you guys don't know, I tried to do Facebook ads right off the bat, and these are gonna be some of the core principles that I wish I knew before I fully got into it, right? It would have saved me a lot of time, money, headaches, and honestly, it just kind of pissed me off not being able to get results right out of the gate, especially since the way I was learning when I first started was from friends, and they were only doing Facebook ads. And yeah, they tried to help me, they gave me great advice, but they weren't able to give me the attention I needed to get the results, which is understandable. You know, they're running their own businesses, so that's fine. But with that being said, if you guys haven't already, be sure to join the family by hitting that nice looking subscribe button down below and drop a like on the video if you get any value at all. And I think that's it. Let's jump inside of my computer. You guys, with Facebook ads, as I'm sure you know, there are a lot of different variables that go into this, but this is just gonna be a couple of the core points that I wish I knew, and for whatever reason, I didn't know. So I'm gonna try and get that information across. Some of these you might already know, some you might not. But first of all, I am gonna try and put in some screenshots, by the way, as we go through this and kind of show you and give you a visual aid. But the first one, expand interest box, okay? What is this? It'll look something like this when you go inside your Facebook Business Manager. And honestly, that is the button that's gonna screw you over, okay? I'm gonna explain exactly what it is, how it works, and why it's automatically checked. But basically, that's the button under the interest when you're going through and setting up your campaign that Facebook automatically checks to rob you of your money, okay? They're trying to empty your wallet. That's their goal. There's only one exception for me, at least, as to why I would leave that checked. And if I'm trying to, I guess, I'm not gonna say spend a lot of money, but cast a really, really wide net to see what audiences work. Okay, basically what they're doing when you leave that checked is they're stacking interests on their own. So you're no longer picking it. They're gonna, let's say you pick 5 interests, right? Now what Facebook's gonna do if you leave that checked, they're gonna go take 5 more on top of each of those, or 10, or however many they feel like doing, and they're just gonna go stack those on there for you, right? They're gonna expand your interests. Now, how they do this, I have no idea. I have no idea how the algorithm works or how they're picking this, but typically whenever I leave this checked, I tend to lose money. So for me, I know that I do my own research and I know that what I do at least kind of works and I have a sense of direction, so I trust myself more than I trust Facebook. And if you actually go set up a campaign, right, you don't have to go launch it now or whatever, but go inside of there, enter a few interests in whatever niche you're in, leave that box checked while you're doing all that, put an arrow if that's what you're gonna do, look at the audience reach, right? It'll say, let's say 11 million. You go and uncheck that box, it might drop down below 1 million. Okay, just to give you some scale of how important this is and how much of an effect it can actually have on your campaigns, okay? The reach is insane when you leave it checked. Personally, I know I've discussed it in a couple of videos. I like to stick between like the 300,000 to maybe 1 million, maybe 1.5, kind of in that range. 500,000 seems to be a sweet spot. And unless you're targeting like 12 people and leave the expand interest box checked, there's no way with leaving that box checked that it's gonna be under 1 million. So hopefully that gives you some scale on kind of what that box is, what it does, and how much it can change your campaigns. I personally always uncheck it. Now you guys, number 2, and this is something that I don't even know existed. I don't know if it was just never mentioned in the courses I went through or if nobody ever made a YouTube video on it. So hello, here I am. Ready? Lifetime budget versus daily budget. Now, some of you might be excited, some of you might already know what this is. Great, let's talk about it. What are the differences? First of all, what even is a lifetime budget? I didn't know what it was. You can kind of figure out what it is just by the name, but that is a budget for the entire campaign. Once it spends the budget you've set, it's done. Now, why would you want to do this? Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a $10 a day campaign and you're going to test it for about a month, right? Let's say you want to let it run for a long time. $10 a day for a month, 30 days, that's $300. Now, so what you would do is if you let that run for a month on a $10 a day campaign, it would spend $300. Or what you could do is go create a lifetime budget, right, with $300 and let it run for approximately a month, okay? And it will probably end up being maybe a couple days more, maybe a couple days to a couple weeks less, you don't know. But let me tell you what the difference is and why you should look into it, okay? A lifetime budget, actually, let's start with the daily budget. What does that do? You set a budget of $10 a day, guess what Facebook is gonna do? They're gonna spend $10 a day, right? They wanna spend your money, they wanna make money. But a lifetime budget, that forces them to use it effectively. Some days they might only spend $3, one day they might spend 45. It really doesn't matter. It's a relative scale to the results you're getting. So if something's working, they're gonna push more money in there, whereas if you have a daily budget, they can't do that because it'll go above your budget. So that's something to think about, and I feel like a lot of people just don't talk about it. Now when I use that, I always start with the daily budget of $5 a day. I know I've mentioned that. If you guys watch my videos, you know that that's what I do when first starting out. But once a campaign gets going and it's bringing in some results, I'll typically switch to a lifetime budget once it's past that break-even point. Now here's the kicker. I like talking about this with more than just a lifetime budget versus daily budget topic. This is really broad. I'll test both. Okay, let's say I have something running that's break even at $5 a day. I'm also gonna build a lifetime budget off of it and just see which one does better. Okay, don't be afraid to test, you guys. I know that's super generic and a lot of people talk about it, but it's true. How are you ever gonna figure out what works best for you if you're never actually figuring out what works best by testing? That's how to do it. And it's kind of simple. Okay, lifetime budget, it makes sense. I just had never heard about it until like 3 months ago, okay? About 3 months ago, I didn't know what it was. And that blows my mind. I've been doing this for 6 months. Nobody told me, I never saw it anywhere. It was never written in anything I read. It was never in any courses. It blows my mind still how I never came across that. I'm gonna tell you something. It really is the little stuff that changes everything. I was trying to do affiliate marketing for like a solid year and a half. I had dabbled with the Ty Lopez 67 Steps program. It's actually where I started making my first money online. Made like $1,000 inside of 2 months or so, which was crazy. Started getting physical checks in the mail and my parents were skeptical as hell. But when I was running those, I was trying to do Facebook ads for it as well, and I didn't even know this expand interest box existed. I'd actually be curious right now to go back and test the same product, but using what I know now. It would be a completely different outcome. Let me give you a bonus on top of these two as well. This is something I wish I knew, and that is congruency. People talked about it, and I knew what it was, but I never understood it. There's a difference between knowing something and understanding it. I preach this in all of my videos. Everything has to be congruent, from when they first see it to when they buy it and it gets to their door. Now, what do I mean by that exactly? If you say in your ad that you're only giving away 100 of these, right? And they go to your page and there's nothing about saying 100 or 30's left, whatever. There's no quantity listed there. Like, you know, we use the app Purify, as we've mentioned. If you say there's 100 left, but there's nothing to back that up or enforce that on the product page, it's almost like you shouldn't even have put it in there. It has no effect. You have to be congruent at all points, right? From when they first see it to when they reading the product description, going through the checkout process, at every single point. If there's a fluctuation or you fail to put something in, it's not gonna work, or at least work that well. It's all the little things, you guys. Like I just said, that plays directly into your conversion rate, and obviously you want a high conversion rate. That's gonna make you more money, obviously. So guys, those are just a couple main key points that I wish I knew when I was getting started with this stuff. It's really not that hard. There are a ton of little variables that play into it which will determine how well your campaigns are gonna do. But in reality, it comes down to knowing all this stuff and having a plan of action and something to follow. So there's something I want to let you guys know about that we're doing. It's kind of a fun, cool little thing that my team's doing. If you guys are already doing Facebook ads, maybe you're doing influencer marketing, maybe you're making $5 a day, $100 a day, what we want to do is help you come up with a strategy on how you can scale that and take it to the next level. This is the type of stuff that I was not offered, and that's kind of the reason why I kept failing with Facebook ads for so many months. Not only was I wasting time, but I was wasting money as well, both of which suck, but you can never get your time back. You can't. So guys, this strategy session, a call, whatever you want to call it, it really doesn't matter. 100% free. If you click the link down below, there'll be a short questionnaire. Go through, fill that out, and it's gonna kind of give us a sense of where you're at. And that's gonna help us build a plan of action upon that we're gonna work with you guys on. So again, you guys, I hope you're enjoying these videos. You guys wanted more Facebook ad videos, so if you want me to dive more in depth on maybe one of these, build out a campaign or whatever, let me know in the comments down below. But with that being said, of course, I would appreciate it if you guys haven't already. I know 66.3% of you who are watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. Do me the favor, that's all I ask. Hit that nice looking subscribe button down below. Drop a like on the video if you got any value from it at all. And I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Peace.